Welcome to the M Factor Live, a space where art of movement meets wisdom from the heart. My name is Emme and I welcome you to another daily live stream of yoga teachings all around healthy movement and creating more well-being in these crazy, crazy times that we're all sharing right now. I see some of you already there. Welcome, welcome. I'm happy to have you. Today's class is going to be a little bit a sequel, kind of like a follow-through from what we did yesterday. So yesterday's class was some deeper stretches for the back part of our legs, of our hips, our lower back and the upper back as well. And I've gotten the feedback that this was quite challenging. Yeah, so for most of us to be on the ground and move forward, especially when we are in a 90-degree angle and then move forward, is really, really difficult. This didn't feel good to a lot of people, and it was challenging. And so this is a good sign for us to look at, okay, why am I stiff here? Why did this challenge me so much? And how can I dig a little bit deeper into this? So today's class, I want to explain to you how to understand these stiffnesses that we feel in our body. Normally, I know people think that when we are stiff, we just need to stretch. So we think, I'm feeling stiff, I'm feeling tense, my movement is not fluid, and it really hurts when I move in different parts of my body, and then the brain says, okay, you just need to stretch. You need to stretch out. That is not always right. Yeah. So I want you to think of the system of the body is not a system where we can just take one part and we're going to just stretch the muscle and then movement is going to be better. That's a little bit what we would love to happen. This is why people look for stretches. This is why we go to yoga class and we say we need to be more flexible. We need to stretch, okay? And there was a time in the development of movement science where we thought that that is right. Yeah, maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, we thought just, stretching is going to get us there. But we know better now today. So the science, if you ever, are interested in that, contact me. I'm happy to send you some stuff. The research in movement science is still not there that we understand the body fully. So everything that is offered is just kind of like, okay, we're trying out certain things. But what we know today is one thing. The body is very, very good at stabilizing. So the first thing that the body does is it wants to keep us safe and stable. We are in a gravitational field. We stand, we sit, we move, we do things. Everything that we do is in the gravitational field. And what the body will do, the nervous system will do, is will try to keep us stable. Yeah? So that's number one. You need to understand this. Stability is the most important parameter that the body is going to look for. So now sometimes when we feel stiff, it is not just because the muscle is short or just we need to lengthen that muscle. Sometimes we feel stiff, and in my experience, that is most of the time, because we don't have enough stability. So what does that mean? Our hips are not stable enough. And because of that, our brain, the part of the nervous system that is responsible for keeping us stable, says, hey, tighten up, this is not stable enough, tighten up. And the more I stretch, and yes, yesterday was a stretching class, this is part of what we do in yoga. However, it might not be right for you in this moment in time. Yeah? And so I want you to know, I want you to start thinking about it. Wow, Maybe I am tight because I don't have enough stability. And stability is found in different ways. Stability is found in a muscle that is strong enough to keep me stable, that is endurant enough to keep me stable for a longer time for whatever I need to do to be in those positions, and to help my nervous system say, hey, everything is fine, muscle is there to support this position. You don't have to tighten up. Yeah? And if anybody of you has ever, worked out or done kind of like sports conditioning, training with their body, you can feel that a lot of that actually feels good to the body, and we're not super tightening up. Yeah? It feels good because the body is stabilized. And in yoga, we need to understand this too. We need to understand that a lot of our yoga asanas require a lot of stability. And if our brain doesn't get that stability, it's going to tighten up. Yeah? So over the past 10 years, there has been a movement shift in the understanding of how we practice yoga. We don't practice yoga anymore by looking at specific yoga asanas and then putting people into the poses and say, hey, just figure tree pose out or triangle, just figure it out. It's going to get better just by doing it. No, we need to prepare our body to be able to go into these asanas. So the better you prepare yourself, the more exercises you do to prepare this triangle, the better. Yeah? And for that, we need stability and mobility. Yeah? And now you might want to ask, okay, but I just feel so tight, I just want to feel better right now in this second. Well, if you asked me, if you have a lot of tension in your body, especially right now in these times where this tension is facilitated by our mind and our emotional body, by the fear and the anxiety and the anticipation of we're not knowing what's going to happen, and our livelihood, our survival, the life that we know is deeply affected, I would say do relaxation. I wouldn't say, hey, stretch, you're going to feel better. Sometimes we do, absolutely. But I want you to say, maybe what I need is to relax and release and let go and see if I can just come into a state where the tension in my body, which is like this, which is all glowing, if it can release a little bit. And that we do with relaxation, yeah? So today's class was challenging probably for a lot of us, or you, because we don't have the stability to stay stable in these poses, and then pain comes, and then where's there? It hurts. What shall I do? Shall I stop? Shall I not stop? How can I modify? And that is the journey. The journey is never take these 3 exercises and you'll be able to feel better just by doing these 3 exercises. It is not like that. And although it is made out to be like this, yeah, it's not like that. And I'm here to tell you. Yeah, so don't just pick and choose certain exercises. Understand why you're picking what you're picking. Know what is right for you. And if you need help with that, go to somebody who can help you. Somebody like me who can evaluate and look at where are we right now. Because our goal with yoga is not to constantly feel like, oh, I'm running behind the mastery of this exercise. I need to know, why am I doing these asanas? Are these asanas that I have picked, or that the random yoga class has picked for you, is this right for me? And if it's right for me, how can I make it better? How can I progress? How can I not have pain anymore in my hips when I'm doing it? That's the question. The question is not, do I stop, or just maybe yoga is not for me, or, it triggers a lot of us. I think people get super frustrated with it. And I think some people get also disappointed. And there's so many yogis out there who feel bad on their mats because they can't do something. So the solution is to learn and grow. And that's why I'm showing up here every day. Yeah. Okay, so today's class is going to be about stability in the hips. And for this, we will need a stable ground. So if you could be not on a carpet, at least for the part that we need to do with our chair, would be good. Have a mat under. If you are on a carpet, it's fine too, but it's better to be on a harder surface. We need a chair. It could be any chair. This is today only just so we can hold on and don't have to balance in some of these exercises. And I would like to have a belt or a scarf or something available. All right, and we're going to start on our chair. Yeah, so I'm going to take a moment and sit on the chair. We're going to start to focus because I want us to have a specific mindset when we start working with ourselves. Yeah, a lot of people take this like real casually. I'm just going to do this exercise somehow and give my best to copy what I see somebody else does. That's okay, but that's not really good. So what we'll do is we'll do this right. Yeah, so gather your chair, get your belt or scarf or whatever you have, and we will sit on the chair and take a moment, just a couple of minutes, to focus. So I want us to close our eyes, sit upright, as tall as we can. If you could please not sit in the back of your chair, but in the front of the chair, so that most of your thighs are going to be off the chair and the sit bones on the chair. So sit up tall and long. See if you can grow for a moment. Ask your body to sit you as tall as possible. See if we can pay attention to the head and neck. Most of us have this chicken head forward. The best way to do this is to make a photograph or a video of yourself, and you will very clearly and quickly see where your posture is, the daily posture. So draw the chin slightly in, the back of the crown of the head lifts up. And as good as we can, yeah, it might not be perfect right this moment, but as good as we can, we are always knowing what the blueprint is of where we are going. And in this case, it's the seat. And over time, I want you to start looking at your seat as something that is real important and that will change over time. The better you get, the more aligned this posture is going to become as a blueprint of sitting upright so we can breathe. The spine is long and elongated and our muscles are stabilizing us in this position. So close your eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath in and exhale through your mouth. Inhale through the nostrils, exhale through your lips. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Let your jaws relax and your face soften. I want you to take one moment and notice with what attitude you are arriving into this class today. Notice what you brought with you. Notice the judgment. Notice us trying to evaluate and trying to figure out things already here and there. Notice this trigger of, hey, I like this or I don't like this. Notice all of these things right now in here. And I want you to see if we can let go of this. In one of the other classes, I have used the metaphor that each and every class, each and every teaching, and each and every practice is a new blank canvas. And I love that image, yeah? Because an artist, somebody who is creative, somebody who is connected to something, can create a piece of artwork. And for me, that's really what yoga is. It is an art and a science. It is a body and a spirit. And it is a tool, a technique on our path to freedom. Physical freedom, a mind that is calm and centered, just like we're doing right now in here, so we can focus, and a heart, a center, maybe some want to call this spirit or soul, that is grounded and connected. That's what yoga is. And so before you practice, yes, sit for just a moment in silence and start to focus. We're letting go of everything we have learned before and all the stuff that we bring. It's like a whole backpack of things. I want you to leave that backpack beside your mat right now in here. And some of you might not be ready, and that's okay. Keep carrying the backpack, but maybe one day you'll come to a place where you let go of all the stuff that hasn't gotten you to a place where you want to go. And then we can start new with a clean slate, with a blank canvas. So today's teaching is going to be, how can I help my body stabilize my hip and lower back? This is all beautifully connected through exercises and through movements that let me be aware of more stability in my body. We bring the palms together to the center of our heart. Open your eyes. And I want you to keep that focus with you for the rest of the time, yeah? All right, so let's lay on our back. So place the chair to the side, but have it close to you. And we're going to lay on our back. Okay, so flat on our back with the feet slightly open, and I want you to take one moment and see, like always, you will hear me see this in every class, we lay on our back, but we lengthen ourselves. We make ourselves tall and long. This is a whole different setup, yeah? We need to learn to set up our positionings, because in yoga, it's all about the different positions, right? And if you set yourself up into a different place, you can move from there differently. So we're lengthening, we're trying to feel this lengthening of the tailbone into the back of the mat and the back of the crown of the head to the front of the mat. Let your arms be alongside your body, and then very slowly with your feet as wide open as the mat is, we're starting with windshield wiper motion. And you might have seen this. I love to do this because it starts to create movement in your hips and lower back. So very slowly, not too slow, not too fast, a slight rotation. The upper leg, but that's on the inside, turns in, the outer leg turns out, and we shift to the other side. Already this is a movement where you can feel the effect of the hips on our lower back and sacrum. This is a good exercise to know, hey, my hips are deeply connected with my spine. You should feel this here. And you should already also feel how many parts there are to the outside of the hip, the lower back, the front, maybe even a little bit the side body. All of this is connected and it creates a little bit of movement. Wonderful. And then slowly bring the feet together. Now we lift up the left knee. And I want us to see if we can describe a circle with the left knee. So you draw the knee in to the chest as close as it allows you to go, and then open up as far as you can. Open up, extend the leg fully, come back to center and bring the knee back in. So it's almost like a little bit wider than a half circle. And now while we're doing this, so keep doing this slowly,
put your hands on your both hip bones up here in the front. Yeah, these two hip bones that are protruding in the front. Now I want you to place your fingertips on there and see if they both can stay in the same level. So we're not rolling the entire torso. We are only rotating in our hip. So in, out, and we keep both hips open. And this way you can actually see how far you naturally can go in your position of external rotation and creating a circular motion. Yeah? Good. So let's do this a few more times. And last time, one more. And then other side. Right knee pulls in, open up. The first few times, remember I taught you this, don't go too far. Don't go all the way as far as you can go. Let the first 2-3 times be a position where you're going to 60, 70, 80%, slowly create more movement. Because remember, we don't want to trigger our brain to tighten us up. And some of you will already feel this here. This is quite a movement that in everyday life we hardly ever do. Yeah? So slowly lift up. Let's do this 2 more times. Rotate out. Describe as large as a circle as we possibly can. Lift, open, lower down. This is called abduction. Slowly maybe scoop the leg back up and back to center. Okay, yeah? So these are really good movements. Let's do a few more on the left side. And what it does is it helps you to see a controlled movement in my hip. So you see, I'm not stretching, I'm not forcing, I am letting my own muscles in my hip system create this movement. Good. Let's do it the opposite way around. Open out to the side, bring the leg back in, and stretch it out forward. Open up, bend the knee out to the side, bring it into the chest and extend. This feels different. Do you feel this? Open up, but if you do it slowly, you might be able to feel exactly, wow, where are the parts that are actually doing this movement? And again, can you keep your hips square? One more time. Open up. Very good. And back in. Wonderful. Other side. We start with 3 rounds to the outside. So let's do this to the outside. 1. Slowly. I'm still trying to stay long. My hips try to keep looking forward as good as I can. I'm focusing on these things. Last time. And then I'm reversing the direction. I'm going out slowly, and I'm trying to go as far out as I can. Bring that knee in and to center. Again, open, slowly let the knee fall out, let it rotate out, open out to the side and back in. And you will notice, you will feel where is there limitation. Sometimes we have our hips clunking. I can do another video about that. If it happens that you feel that the hip is clunking, go into a smaller position. Go into a little bit smaller circle. Yeah, I will explain that at another time. This is important. Okay, so, and release. Good. Let's now roll over. So this is our hip rotation. And it's fairly safe to do this on the ground. Most of us can do this, yeah? But here already you can start to feel and understand your hips. All right, so now let's go onto all fours. So remember the little blanket or our mat below our wrists. I explained this, I think, 2 classes ago, how to support our wrists a little bit. Please do that. Okay, now let's do the same thing in all fours. So we bring the knee in, we open the hip up to the side, we turn the leg over and create one big circle. We end up with both hips forward. We bring the knee in, open out to the side, turn the toes up and bring the knee into one long line behind us. Keep the knee bent and lower down. So now, when you have done this the first time, most of us are probably going to do this movement with a lot of help from our back. So look at me one time. I can do this with allowing my whole entire body to help me with this movement. So instead of only the hip working, it's my whole entire back, my spine, everything wants to help. However, this is not going to help my hip get stronger, and my mobility in my hip is not going to get better. So the body is very smart. If I tell myself I want to do the biggest circle that I can, look at how my body is really trying to create the biggest circle as possible and helping with my back, my hips, my arms. I'm going down. I am trying to create this movement. The wider, the better. And that's a lot of what happens in yoga classes. Yeah? So the instruction is try to go deeper, try to go as wide as possible, and the body is going to figure this out with help of all kinds of other structures. But for my hips to become more stable, I need to not let the back help. I need to not shift to the side and create movements in different places where I'm already movable. Does that make sense? So let's try this and see if we can stay stable in our back while we only rotate the leg. So I don't want any movement in your lumbar spine. I want your core to stay contracted and active while the leg moves. And I want you to feel where the strength is missing for us to do the circle. Most of our circles are going to be real small, and that's great because we are actually getting to those muscles that we want to strengthen. Can you feel the difference? Can you do this movement out to the side? Turn in, bring the knee back, and don't arch the back. Square the hips, keep the core engaged, and lower back down. Yeah? Come off your hands, shake them out, and let's do it on the other side. Yeah? So let's try this out. This is figuring this out, because now it's not about biggest circle, the wider the bigger. Now the instruction is hips stay square, the lower back is not working, it's not helping, and we want the movement only to come from the hip joint. This is a fabulous exercise, yeah? I promise you, those foundational things that look like nothing, they will contribute greatly to you feeling better, because these muscles will start around our hips to work again. Yeah, they haven't worked in a long time, probably, or have never worked. So now we're learning this. Okay, one more time. All fours. Lengthen your back. Good. Push yourself up high. And then slowly lift up the left leg. Keep that neutral spine here. And then slowly open out to the side. And you already feel this opening out to the side. There's a lot of work in the hip. And slowly come back to center and square the hips. Good. And again, pull in. Keep breathing. Do you feel how much strength this actually takes? And while it doesn't look like much, it's a really, really beautifully complex preparation exercise for a lot of asanas. So I'm doing this with my yogis a lot, and we have gotten better because we are doing it and we're doing it regularly.
Yes, pull in. As good as we can. Last time, one more. Open up. Good. Keep open. Widen as good as you can. Feel those hip muscles. Slowly back to center. And release. All right, let's do it one more time on the other side. Deep breath. Yeah? Do you feel the difference a little bit? There should be a very clean and clear difference between, you see, even, the whole body actually starts to get warm, yeah? The entire body is working. This is completely different. And it helps security and stability in our hips, yeah? So one more time, other side. Good. Gosh, I have this microphone thing up here and it doesn't allow me to move. Good. We're going to figure this out. All right, here we go. Deep breath. Find that neutral position. Keep your knees together because from here you can bring the knee in, open out to the side, bring it back, keep pushing and back. Wonderful. Again, 2, super slow, which means I'm really paying attention to how am I doing this. I'm paying attention to where the leg has difficulties doing this. This is good. I want you to practice finding those parts in our movement that are not smooth. Okay, just for fun, let's reverse it. In and out in the back. Slowly open up to the side. Slowly bring it back in. Do you feel the difference, yeah? Already the muscles need to work differently. Again, lift up, keep the hips square, 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 square. Don't arch your back, yeah? This is not about that. Open out to the side. Bring the foot in. Rotate in to the body. One more time. Notice your core. Notice if the belly is hanging. If this is not active, your lower back is going to suffer. And back to center. Good. Very good. Some of you will feel this in your arms. You will feel it in your core. And the expectation is not that you're able to do this today. Yeah, I think this is very often in videos, just, we expect it to be able to do this. And if we can't do it, something's wrong with us. I don't know why nobody's talking about it, but I think this is what goes on in a lot of people's mind. So there's nothing wrong with us. The expectation is, this is hard. This is something that the body hasn't learned doing. This is something that I have to train myself in. Yeah, so always think, okay, trying to figure this out. I want to understand it. I want to understand how to do it. And then I'm going to put all my effort in making this blueprint better and better and better. We won't be able to do this today, yeah? No matter how deep I go or how nicely I create this here. It's not reality. It doesn't work like that. I hope that I can fire you up to keep coming back and keep practicing in a way where you then start to see progression. And I think that's missing in yoga very often, yeah? The people who had the hip pain 3 years ago still have that hip pain 3 years ago. And nothing really has changed. Maybe a little bit better, but we're still nagging, having the same nagging pain. And I want to change that, yeah? And I think the first step is to understand this. Okay, got a little break, and here we go. Next side. I try to fill the time that you have with me here with really good, valuable stuff. All right. Have we found our table? Neutral. Good. Okay. Left knee lifts up. Here we go. 3 times out, and then we reverse. 1. Slowly. Super slowly. Hips stay square. Bring the knee in. Try to bring it in. And people, make a video of yourself. I want you to start doing this. Yes, I know some of you are like, okay, what is she talking about? I want you to start seeing what you're doing, because I promise you it will change your life. Let's do the other part. Back. We're reversing. Open out to the side. Slowly, keep lifting, keep lifting. So just holding here, yeah? Whoo! Don't you feel it? And back to center. Lift the foot up off the ground. Bring it in as tight as you can. And back. 1. Very good. Deep breath. Back in. And 2. 3. Open. Rotate. Back to center. And last time. Let's do one more. One more. Good. Keep your core engaged. Yeah? Most of you will have real difficulties keeping this engaged, and we need to train ourselves slowly and gradually. And release. All right. Yeah? Fabulous. You can do this without being warm, really. Do you see this? The only thing, our wrists. And this is a wonderful exercise that you can do in between. Yeah? Okay, here comes the next one. So we're coming up into a stand, and we need our belt and our chair now. Yeah. So what I want us to do is to do the same thing that we just did. Actually, you can put the belt onto your chair seat. The same thing that we just did on all fours, and actually on our back too. I want us to do this in standing position. Yeah, and I'm gonna walk you through this. So now, first and foremost, we need to understand that the muscles on our hips are super important for our balance. So when we start to balance and when we start to stand on one leg, most of us are doing this. And I don't know if you can see this. We are hanging in our hip. Most of us, we're kind of shifting the hip. So this is how most people stand on one leg, side to side. So what I want us to do is, I want us to see if we can do this first with activating the side of our hip. So have the feet fairly close together, not all the way close together, fairly close together, maybe a little bit closer than hips width apart. Stand up tall, engage your glutes just a bit, grounded onto both feet. And now, don't bring your body weight all the way out to the side and then lift up the leg. I want you to stay as square as you can and just lift up the toes or the sole of the foot off the left leg. Lift it up. Now, without bringing the hip out, can you feel this? If you put your right hand onto your hip, right up here, you should feel how this muscle engages. Can you engage the glutes? When they're relaxed, you can actually feel it soft. Do this, yeah, because this is important. And when you engage this, you can feel how, wow, this is a lot more compact on the outside of my hip. That's what I want. So let's do this on the other side. Put your hands on your hips and shift your weight just a bit to your left foot and lift up the right leg. Do you see this, that I'm barely shifting? I am just standing, and I want you to feel the muscles on the outside of your hips. This is super important. If you get this today, fabulous. Okay, so let's do it on the left leg. Right foot lifts up. Good, and balance. And feel those muscles. Can you feel how this creates fabulous stability on your hips, as well as a little bit our core as well? Some of you will feel this there too. Good. Do you feel how it gets tired? I can feel my left hip muscles working. They will get tired. Good. And switch. And balance. Now feel the right side. Good. I hope you all feel this with me. Oh, I wish I could see you. So for some of you who want to dig deeper, you need to be part of my group, because that's where I can see you too. We do it in an interactive way. All right, other side, one more time. Good. Stay up tall and long. I'm going to show you from the side. Hips. And I lift up my right toes and lift it up and hold. So I'm standing on one leg just as I would when my foot is on the ground. There's no difference. This is balance. This is balance. Yeah? Good. Deep breath and release. All right, good. Let's get the belt. One more step. Here we go. I want us to see if we can, with the belt, lift up our left leg. Really high as our body allows us, which is going to be maybe here, maybe a little bit higher. Wherever this is, see if you can lift up. Okay. If your leg is up here, see if that standing leg can engage your hip and the knee be fully extended. That's what we're looking for. Good. And lift up that knee. Good. And slowly release down. Do you feel how much muscular strength there is? Yeah? So this looks like a stretch, but it really is a lot of muscular strength. So one more time, other side. Lift up the right foot. Keep your left hip engaged. Take the belt around the knee and slowly lift it up. Now, that standing knee, we want to extend. And every time you extend that, notice how the hip muscles have to work a little bit harder. Yes, wonderful. That's a fabulous stretch. And we're balancing and we are strengthening. And slowly lower back down. Good. All right. Now, let's do this again. Other side. Set yourself up in a good position where the glutes and the hip muscles are engaged. Left foot lifts up. Keep that contraction. Lift up the left knee. Okay. So if the knee is fairly high, you can also hold on with your arms. But make sure that the standing leg is fully extended and that we're not rounding. This is why I like to use the belt. Yeah, all the way. So lift up that knee. And now let the belt go and keep the knee lifting up by itself and just hold that position. Good. And for that, I want you to start now, hold on to the chair, because this is not about balancing today. This is about being able to lift this knee up. Yeah. So again, left hand around the knee, lift it up high, let go and hold. Good. And again, lift it up high. And standing leg, hip on that right side. Hold on and let go. And we want it to stay as close as we can. And slowly lower back down. If you feel that your hip flexor is not able to hold it there where we're letting go, it just means that the muscles that create that range of motion are not strong enough. So let's make them strong enough. And when they get strong enough, then we'll be able to do a lot of other things that feel like we need flexibility for them. Yeah? Other side. This is why we have the chair, because I don't want to make this about balancing today. I want to make this. This is why, hold on. You can hold on to the wall as well. Yeah? So one more time. Both hips engaged. Stand up tall and long. The right foot is preparing to lift up. So lift it up and see if you can lift it up a tiny smudge higher. Go as far as you possibly can. Hold on with your hand. Extend that standing knee and feel the glutes on that left side. Yes. And then let go. And hold. And lift it back up. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, lift it up and hold. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We can do this together. And 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Lift up. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And slowly lower down. Yes. Do you feel the burning? Do you feel it in your hips? Yeah, I feel it too. It's working hard. And I have a lot of these muscles that are now kicking in to do these exercises. Okay. So, second part is the rotation. So I want us to see if we can lift open to the side and maybe use your arm and then see if you can let go. Yeah, I have practiced that for a while. When I started doing this, my leg would go down here. I would lift it up. I had the range of motion here, and then it would go down here. If this happens, this is normal. Yeah, this is okay. Look at this and say, all right, I want to change this. So we lift up and see if we can hold it. Yes. And then turn the leg back in and down. Keep your hip. And then we're going to do a few lifting and lowerings. So lift up the back foot towards the bottom, the heel, and then open out to the side and lower. And look what the body wants to do. It wants to lift up sideways. Yeah, it wants to do anything it can just to create bigger range of motion. I want you to feel that right side of the hip while the left leg opens up to the side. Feel that. Open. Good. And again, from the beginning. 1. Let go. Good. 2. Open up. Turn the leg back in. And bring it knee to knee. Again, 1. Open up. 2. Can you still feel the standing leg as well? Back, lift, turn, rotate the leg in. And back. Yes. Yeah? Shake the legs out. So much work. But in a good way. Yeah? We're awakening the body. It's about time to start moving in a way where the effort is geared towards not only being stronger, but also being able to move better. What we in the end of the time want is to not feel tense and tight and stressed and hurt. And the older we get, the more this is part of aging. No, no, no again. Yeah? Other side, here we go. Last time. And then I'm going to leave you with this to practice that from now on. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Feet, hips width apart. Actually, let's do this with the belt one more time. Actually, we don't need the belt. If you need the belt, absolutely. Here we go. To lift up, please use it. If you can lift up your leg with your own hand, please use your own hand. Yeah? So whichever you choose. Everybody is different. Now, one more time. Both feet onto the ground. You learn today to engage your outer hip muscles already here. Good. So I'm shifting my weight by lifting up my right leg. Good. Hold on to your chair or the wall. Yeah, hold on to it. Absolutely. Lift up the right knee and lift it up as high as you can. So now, standing leg wants to, as good as you can, extend. Good. And don't arch your back here. As good as we can. No, it's difficult, but we can do this. All right. Hold it up there. 2, 3, 4. And again, lift it up. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Open out to the side. Lift it up again. And here we go. The hip wants to shift. Do you see it? The whole body wants to turn. Don't let it. As good as we can. 2, 3, 4. Lift the leg up. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then turn the leg in. And we're going to do these outer movements. Out and in. This is called abduction. We're abducting the knee and the thigh out to the side. Good. And abduct. Oh, do you feel it? It burns. I can feel it. I can feel it in my standing leg. I can feel it in both both hip muscles, left and right side. And this is actually a whole group. This is a group of 6 different muscles on each side. Open. Good. And then let's do the whole round. Deep breath. Lift. Externally rotate. Turn the leg in. And back down to center. Again, lift. Open out to the side. Lift the hip, the knee out to the side. And back to center. Now, put your back hand into your lower back. And notice if it's trying to help. If it's arching more, if it is engaging more than you would like to. Open and back. Ah, good. Shake the leg out. Did you feel it? Yeah? I hope you did. So Let me know what you're struggling with, yeah? Let me know what's difficult. But right now when you walk, if you just walk around a little bit, can you feel that this actually feels good? It doesn't feel tight. It feels like, hey, my muscles actually, even if you move your hips a little bit like this, in and out, can you feel that this doesn't feel tight? And it doesn't feel tight because we have activated those muscles quite a bit, yeah? So this is one part. And from there, there's lots more to learn. All right, let's lay on our back for our last relaxation. So now is the time to release. So slowly lower on your back and bring the legs onto the chair. Let the feet, knees, calf muscles, thighs completely relax. All right. Lengthen the spine one last time. Let the arms be alongside your body. Close your eyes and feel the flow of energy in our entire body. If you've done this with me, you probably feel warm everywhere, in your core, in your back, in your legs. Even the hands and feet should feel really warm right now. Most of you will. You can feel your breath is wide and open. Some of you will feel the heat in the body, because despite the fact that this didn't look as much, it was quite a bit of energy moving through our body. And this is muscular. This is strength. This is stability. And your body is going to thank you for that. So the last few breaths, we let go and release. And we slowly bring our awareness back into time and place. And we deepen our breath. And start to move our hands and feet, arms and legs. Maybe stretch out the body a little bit. Open your eyes. And I have a feeling that you will feel really good after this class. I have this vision that you can feel really good right now in your body. And we didn't even stretch. All right, so roll over your right side. And then we slowly push ourselves up. All right, so this was today's class. And I hope that you are taking with you that there is a wonderful ocean of things to learn in yoga. If this makes sense to you, if you are at a place in your yoga practice where you want to dive deeper, if you are interested in working a little bit closer with me, I have a wonderful group called My Inner Circle, and we're doing exactly this. We're practicing interactive from our homes, wherever we are in different parts of the country, and we share the experiences. The reason why I know how everybody feels is not only because I have gone through it myself as a yogi. I have felt all these things that you are feeling as well. But it is because I'm constantly in conversation with my yogis who are actually at a place where they're open enough to share this. Yeah? And this is a place of trust, and it's a place of where we can talk about these things that hurt and why do they hurt and how we can change them and make them better. So if you're ever interested in that, you know where to find me. Until then, I hope you're getting something out of this. We have another day ahead of us. There's sunshine here in Georgia, and I am grateful for that. And I will see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Namaste.